Skyjet has kind of found Incineroar's place in the meta as someone that can just blow up stocks. And we've all known it for a time, but we've just not seen it.
Yeah.
But of course, we might be seeing it again. Now, I do believe, I think it is Lancelot with the Roy.
It is, yes,
and then
it is.
Yes, Zangmitch with the Incineroar.
Excellent.
So I believe they've sat in the wrong place, so that's not going to make TR and we're all very happy.
Oh, it will not. But unfortunately, the punishment from Kara will have to come from the punishment after Lancelot. As we are getting a little bit neutral around. Going in fairly even right now. I do like the Roy pick over the Chrom because obviously Incineroar has a very, very weirdly nasty edge guarding game. So it's a little bit easier to make it back as send him up into the sky right there. Going to see what we can do as back to neutral. Just a little bit of footsies right now. All it takes is Lancelot to get a couple of nair strings to force him off. Obviously that counter is always part of the conversation. There's always something you have to keep in mind.
Yeah, and of course, there might be a few people in the chat going, wait, hang on, Lancelot on the Roy. And to explain, again, so Lancelot, we talked about how he's not really been feeling the game too much lately. In part, it's also because I do feel like there's kind of a lot of sort of naysay about sort of Chrom as a character sometimes. He has his strengths, certainly, but there is a kind of a little bit of kind of like, why are we going Chrom where we could be going Roy?
Yeah.
So I think Lancelot has been like sort of looking at the Roy more, obviously very, very similar characters, similar game plans, but just with that kind of extra little bit of kind of raw firepower to him. So this is why I believe Lancelot has been going the Roy over the Chrom.
And it makes a lot more sense in pools as well, you know? Like, Chrom, as good a character they theoretically are, they really do suffer from being cheesed. And that's what you have to wait up for. Luckily, you have a best of 5 to play with, so
exactly. So there's plenty of time. Of course, we might be seeing the Chrom later. Who knows? But regardless, this is still looking very, very strong. This Roy is here to play, and this cat needs to try and find a stock, which is normally no problem for Incineroar. However, you gotta find a way in first, and Lancelot is being very, very oppressive right now.
Certainly is, forcing him off, forcing him low. Let's see if Mitch can make their way back. Come on, Gal, forced into the sky. Fortunately, Lancelot running away with it. Roy with rage, all right. Giving us flashbacks, but finally going to send into the sky.
There we got a forward air, gonna connect into it, finally take that stock away. And as we all know, Incineroar only needs to grab you a few times to take the stock. But again, the disadvantage state on Incineroar is certainly something left to be desired. And so, of course, Mitch has got to try and find a way in. Lancelot is just using all of those quick moves that Roy has to their absolute best, as it is just scarier and tougher for Mitch to find any way in at all.
Yeah, trying to find their way back. Able to get a roll in, but just doesn't connect the back air as well. Good down tilt. Forced up into the sky, keeping it going, keeping the chase on as a clash in midair could still work, but the dash speed from Incineroar is so bad. Unfortunately, Zangmitch is not able to capitalize on it. They have one more chance to make it back. They have one more chance to run away with it, but unfortunately not going to make it back from that one.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Used up that jump earlier. So unfortunately, Mitch just gonna fall down there. So, the Lancelot Roy going at 1 game up in this best of 5, but we have still got so much more of this marathon left to go. And so many more games to be played.
Definitely. And the interesting thing here is that, Zangmitch does have actually a very interesting pool of characters to play with. They are a very fundamentally sound player who kind of just picks up new characters and plays with them on a whim. So theoretically, they do have a lot of characters they could go back to. But something interesting here is that Zangmitch, one of those characters is Roy.
Yes, exactly. And in fact, actually, when we're looking at the results for both of these players, of course, on the graphic, we do have Roy.
This is one of the characters
that's not Roy.
I really like from Zangmitch. All right, Zangmitch was one of the, we had sort of like a Sora sort of powwow earlier.
Yes.
When sort of just after they first released, when everyone was discovering the really weird tech from Sora, and Zangmitch was one of the players here in the UK that I saw, implementing a lot of very interesting and cool stuff. They're very knowledgeable about a lot of the ways that Sora does play. However, Sora does mean that you have to be quite careful. Of course, you are a glass cannon, and Lancelot is more than happy to shatter that at any opportunity.
Yeah, and I feel like Roy as an archetype, like just the way he plays, the moves, and how destructive they are can certainly shatter that glass house very, very easily. And I mean, right now he's just looking again, very, very impressive from Lancelot. The up and nearly taking the stock, but it is gonna be the side B just not quite working out for Zangmitch as Lancelot just lands that back air to take the stock away. But this does give an opportunity for Mitch to find a way in, getting a few hits going. And of course, this is what Sora does. He kind of just swings away and just chips at you for lots of damage and then kind of just takes your stock just like that, really.
Yeah, a bit of a problem here, you know, not able to double jump out of disadvantage against Roy because, frankly, Sora's double jump is just very slow. So, unfortunately, you have to get very creative to escape these combos as the dash attack not going to get punished, actually. There is no cross-up. Lancelot did not see that one coming, but should not matter as shields the up air. Oh, just barely avoiding that. There's the Sonic Blade to get him back to the stage. Let's see if they can make it back one last time. There's no invulnerability left, just trying to beat him back with a couple of spells, but unfortunately it's just not enough as you're going to have to pick your poison. Sonic Blade back, just keeping swinging out of disadvantage there because if they roll, they know that Hugo is going to be ready as finally able to claw their way back onto solid ground.
Yeah, and again, it's just so strong. That up air again, connecting, taking that stock away, and as we talked about, Sora is a very light boy. He does not have a lot of weight to him. He's not been eating his snacks. But unfortunately, Sora just going to fall very easily to those strong moves like that up air. Again, Mitch just trying to find something. Goes off stage, which of course is one of Sora's biggest strengths, that he can just sort of dive off there and still get back very safely.
Oh, barely avoiding that. Good patience from Mitch as well, not falling for the spot dodge, but unfortunately, Lancelot just has the frames. The up air still not killing at 150. Roy is just steaming with rage right now as trying to read the jump. Not quite going to be there.
Very
Good
nice
spacing from Mitch.
Yeah, lovely stuff there from Mitch to take that stock away. But
not quite lovely enough.
Yeah. It do be that way sometimes.
Signs of life coming out from Zangmitch there, but unfortunately, Lancelot is obviously #1 on the finish PR for a reason.
And of course, just one of those stronger European players that you always do see up there.
Yep.
You know, you see the name of Lancelot and you do have to sort of worry about your bracket path if you have to face him.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to see what we switch. Now we're going to see if we stick with the Sora, if we go to a different character. Obviously, Zangmitch does have that character, does also have the Roy. I think I've heard what we're going to next, and this is another one of their
also
tried and
not the
tested.
Voy. It's just not the Voy. We talked about the Voy. It's not the Voy.
We've got the
Anything
Joker.
but the Voy.
Let's see what we can do.
Again, sort of, Mitch is one of those players. He does have a lot of characters in the bag. Yeah, and certainly the Incin, the Sora, the Joker, the Voy, they are all equally as strong options for him. I feel like Mitch kind of always sort of rotates around them. There's sort of no character is necessarily stronger than the other. Like I feel like the Incin is probably his strongest choice, but it's definitely not to say his only choice.
Exactly. Perfect parry right there. Good call out on the spot dodge, using that lingering there as well. Can see how much damage the Arsene can do. Unfortunately, the dash grab, as strong as option as it is. Looks like Lancelot was ready for it, as falling aerials always very strong on these PS2 platforms. Oh, a bit of a clash, but it's very unhealthy for Zangmitch. Luckily, able to make it back. This is a much cleaner recovery, as we have seen before. Good combo right there. Oh, the DI was good, but Mitch was ready for it. Fantastic stuff. Going to see if they can force him down.
I love all of that was just from one beautiful parry from Mitch as well. So much damage just tacked on through that one option choice. And now, of course, Mitch is firing back as well. Look, using those guns to good ability as well. Boy, certainly, you know, he doesn't have a bad recovery, but it's on the weaker side of things, and I feel like Mitch is very much playing to that right now.
Yeah, trying to threaten a ledge trump right now. Lancelot was ready for it. Oh, goes for the drift out just to avoid the combo, but Lancelot reads it perfectly. That was a very solid sequence from Mitch, and now he's got to counter with a little bit of beans behind it, all right? Something that lingers. This means that Lancelot does have to play a bit more patiently. It's a bit of an annoyance when you're playing someone as tempo-heavy as Roy, as Arsene is here, going to try and find a kill.
Yeah, very
nice. There's a ledge drop back air.
Beautiful stuff there from Mitch. This Joker is looking very nice. And of course, one thing I wanted to talk about earlier is the fact that we've said so much about how hit hard Roy's moves hit. And of course, that just fills up the Arsene meter even quicker. So this is a very smart choice from Mitch, and it is looking, as we can see, the scores are the even as they've ever been in this set. It's certainly looking good for Mitch right now. Of course, the Arsene does go away. The grab comes out from Lancelot just to get a bit more going, but these percentages are fairly close, and if we can see just a small little sequence from Mitch, we could be seeing something there.
Certainly good. I really like the gun use out of disadvantage here. Just means that Lancelot can't quite run up and punish a jump. He will be threatened by those bullets, but nevertheless does not nullify any other advantage that Lancelot himself can garner, as Larsen is just about to pop his ugly head. Still, if Lancelot can find a kill here, it will save him a lot of grief in the future. The B does not come through, unfortunately, but the Aegon does. As can we catch him on the platform? You certainly can, but unfortunately just not fast enough. As the up throw, DI is just about there.
Just enough to survive. And look, again, this is where it's looking sort of, you know, well, I was going to say something about Mitch, kind of, you know, where he can sort of capitalize on Void being off stage. But in fact, actually, it's just Lancelot saying, you know what, I've got a high recovery. I've got a strong up B. I can kill with that.
Certainly can. Doesn't quite get a drag down there, but it's still going. Going to see if we can pull nice and deep. Rising up air does punish. Mitch just trying to find a clean back air, a clean hit right there, but a great extension. Obviously, these swordsmen, they love bouncing from platform to platform, playing ping pong with you, but there's another aerial off stage, and now it's just falling apart. Mitch looking so healthy, but not anymore. Fate